Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 7, episode 10. You know what? I'm just going to go straight on in. You know what? All I'm going to say here is Phaedra and Claudia. Phaedra and Claudia. This was, I don't know what was going on, and Demetria. This was the coming out episode for Demetria and Claudia, and this was the turnaround episode for Phaedra. And you'll understand as we go forth. Let's go. Okay, so first we see Claudia and Kenya. They're actually going to the podiatrist because undoubtedly Demetria has actually invited all the girls on an all-expense-paid trip down to Puerto Rico. And Roger Bob is picking up the tab. So I says, okay, here we go. And we already know Claudia has hammer toes. We've heard about it. We've seen it on social media. Them toes are really, really fucked up. So they go to see what she can get done. Nothing she can actually get done, like right at the cuff. It's all surgical. Everything she needs is surgical. She went on about later on in the evening. She was actually on Andy Cohen's show, and she talked about the fact that they were 19 hours in heels when she used to be on what was the show with the little boxes? One of them little game shows. But she was on there, and where you had to pick the little suitcases and all that business. She was in heels for like 19 hours a day. Then she was also an athlete. So over time, it has really messed up her feet. Kenya just went on and on. She really got on my nerves. It was very childish the way she was acting, because obviously the girl really does have some issues about how her toes and things look. And Kenya was just not, she just made light of it. She just was cutting up and carried on. Stupid Kenya. So they went through all that. Next thing you see is Candy and Demetria actually meeting up naturally somewhere to eat, because, Candy's ass is good and greedy. So sitting there, and basically Candy wanted to bring her out and apologize to her about what had actually happened at the party, which she should have. Demetria was actually really gracious about it, and then she was really praising Candy and telling Candy about how she has followed her career and all this. Really and truly, Candy should have felt like shit, because she could say what she wants to say, but Candy, you fucking bitch, you set that girl up. You set her up. You and what's the little lesbian's name? Gaucher. You and Gaucher, y'all had that shit all set up. You set her up and you embarrassed her, and then you're backpedaling and carrying on, and you should feel like shit, but I'm sure you don't. Starting to see a whole... I was looking at old videos and things on timelines and things of Candy's back when I was like, now that's the Candy I like. She was fine and she wasn't being so messy. This new Candy I really can't take, girl. You really give me heartburn, honey. Anyway, moving on with it. Demetria actually showed some interest to actually work with Candy. She would like to work with Candy. Candy kind of threw her that, well, girl, I had decided that I didn't want to work with anybody else, any of the ladies in this thing. Candy hasn't heard Demetria sing yet. Once she hears her sing, she's going to flip that whole switch, I'm sure. But anyway, that was that. It was what it was. Child, by the time they were done, Candy was telling the girl how to give Roger Bob a good blowjob and put some vibrator on his balls. Now, I don't know how you always get to balls and dicks and blowjobs over your food. I just don't get it. I mean, some people pride themselves in all the wrong things. But anyway, let's move on. Next, we have Cynthia and Kenya. Cynthia and her people were actually helping Kenya to find herself an assistant, and they were all looking at her like the bitch was crazy because of all the things that she wanted and all of this. And I could never do that assistant job. That's something I would never be able to do, because I'm just, for whatever reason, I'm not equipped with the ass-kissing gene. I've been and told somebody to go straight the fuck to hell. So I just see that that's not me. That little assistant job, that's horrible. Horrible. But they looked at her like she was crazy. And what I'm noticing, Kenya's giving all her scenes to Nene. Her and Cynthia. Every time you see them, whenever they're on screen, they're talking about Nene. Do you all not understand y'all are giving your power away to her? You're using portion of your scene talking about this bitch that's not being shown. Fuck Nene. Stop talking about her. Fuck her. Kenya says some good shit about her now. It's some funny shit. Like she said something about them getting wet. And she said, honey, I don't know. I've never seen Nene get wet. As many vacations and things that we've been on, I don't even know if she even takes showers. I said, oh, jeez. Then she came back and called her old and said she wearing a toupee. Child, just a mess. A mess. But again, it's funny that you read her and all that, but you're giving her your scene. You're literally giving her your scene. Y'all giving her too much power. Fuck Nene. Anyway, the next thing is when the first time we see Phaedra. Now, I don't know what's actually going on. Y'all know that I like Phaedra, you know. But I didn't like nothing about Phaedra in this episode. Phaedra, honey, I don't know what you're going through, but you were a nasty, sideways, eye-rolling, unnecessary motherfucking bitch this episode. I'm just going to shoot it to you straight. You weren't nothing nice. You were nothing that I ended up liking you for. You were, nasty. Like are you jealous of Demetria or something? Is something wrong? Something going on? Something we don't know about? Has Apollo been batting eyes at her or something? Something went on because you really had it in for her. And I didn't understand that. And then as Demetria was telling the girls later about how she felt as though Phaedra was coming for her, they started doing that dumb shit that people do that I can't stand. Oh, well, that's just her. This, that, and the other. Well, I don't really have to deal with her. And then we're here in Puerto Rico on my motherfucking dime. So no, I ain't got to take none of her shit. Okay? Not while Roger Bob is paying, okay? So I was like, that's a mess. But anyway, she just was not nice at all. She met her at the studio, her and Nene. Nene had heard her sing. Nene was impressed. Phaedra kind of, man, she didn't catch the singing. Phaedra just went right in on the girl about her age. And do you think you could be a pop star at your age? And this, that thing. I mean, she just went in. Went in, asked her, has she ever been a crackhead? And all. Just foolishness. Foolishness. And I said, fix it, Jesus. That wasn't very Christian-like. None of that behavior was Christian-like. It was all reading nasty bitch. And it don't look good on you, Phaedra. You need to let that go. You're not in a position to be giving anybody the blues. And then asking her stuff about her man and how that's going. Baby, you're in no position to give any love advice, okay? Moving on. Next, we actually see Portia, Demetria, and Candy on their way over to Puerto Rico. They all travel together. Portia, you're changing as well. You know, you're dealing with this African guy or whatever. We keep hearing about that. And some reason you have your ass on your shoulders now, okay? Your attitude is nasty, you know, because you were stupid all along. So stupid was what you did, you know, fucking idiot. But now you're nasty on top of it, so you're a stupid fucking idiot, which, you know, equals a fucking ass jack. So you got that whole thing going on, you know. I listened to how you spoke to the motherfucking people in the cab. Give me my bag. Bitch, who are you? Who are you? You know, and then you're so fucking stupid you ended up leaving the bag at the motherfucking airport, you dumbass. You know, just nasty. And then you got these high-ass heels on this dumbass little short dress. You know, you run around looking like an extra from Truck Turner Sluts for Sale, honey. Ridiculous. And who the fuck got 9-inch heels going through the airport? Bitch, really? Really? They're just nasty. Nasty. Once they got there, I'm watching them. Candy, Demetria, and Portia had a little conversation. Soon as she walked out the room, Candy and Portia's talking about her. And y'all talking about, again, this whole Roger Bob thing. Yeah, she do drive you crazy with the Roger Bob thing, but that's fine. But none of y'all are in the position to give any love advice. None of you. Candy, you get ready to lose your motherfucking husband. Portia, you done already lost your husband or your wife or whatever. You know, you done shaved your beard, girl. You know, and all this day, when they were in the car, I'm backing up, but when they're in the car, they talk about this bitch with this $80,000 bag, and, oh, she could get a man to give her an $80,000 bag and she can give you some tips. No, she can't. No, she can't. There's no bitch that could give me tips about no man who has a man that gave her an $80,000 bag. Unless she got $80,000 in the bank, which Portia doesn't. Okay? So I don't need no advice from a bitch who married a faggot and ended up coming out of it and not getting nothing. Then go to another man that got other wives and other women who buys expensive bags and then, bitch, you got an $80,000 bag and ain't got $80 in the bank? Seriously? No, I don't need that bitch to give me no motherfucking advice. And I definitely don't need Candy to give no advice. For what? Ah! Girl, bye. Y'all need to leave her alone. And every time she walk out of the room, y'all chit-chatting. Y'all it really shows y'all. I wouldn't go to the corner store with none of you whores. Then you got Kenya, Cynthia, and who the fuck did they travel with? Kenya, Cynthia, and Claudia. Claudia was really quiet. And I always tell y'all I don't care for Claudia because something ain't right about Claudia. I just ain't been able to put my finger right on it. Something ain't right about her. But she was very quiet and I was watching her. She was just taking everything in for the most part. And I was kind of respected her. It was like throughout this episode, I kind of gained a little respect for her because it seemed as though all of the behaviors were starting to get on Claudia's nerves. And then she was in the midst of a drunk. This bitch was ready. Because every time you see that bitch, she's like this, honey. So, Claudia, I know your number, bitch. You thirsty. You like a little sip and a nip, honey. And I said, okay. And then when she got good and drunk, honey, we'll get to that. But just the same, all they did, Kenya, Claudia, and Cynthia, they talked about Nene the whole time. A mess. And then Kenya basically got the shit started. When Demetria went over with them and she was saying, things with Phaedra, she just didn't understand. And Kenya basically sicked her right on Phaedra. She was like, girl, if Phaedra's saying something, girl, you need to go ahead and tell her what you're thinking. And I'm sitting there saying, oh, Kenya, you shit-starting bitch. But we appreciate that from you tonight, Kenya, because we needed that. Okay? And Demetria was like, okay, fuck it, because they didn't already got her once and burned her. So I laughed. And later on, here comes Nene and Phaedra came in together. They traveled together. They talked about Demetria and Roger Bob. I'm wondering, why did anybody accept the invitation? Because everybody seems to not care for Demetria. For some reason that nobody knows. Everybody thinks she's stupid. Everybody's talking shit. But why did y'all accept the trip from her? Like I said, I wouldn't go to the corner store with none of you shady motherfucking whores. So, anyway, moving on. And I think the only one that was really genuine was Claudia. Really, Claudia was literally happy to be there. And she had nothing to say about Demetria. But anyway, Kenya sicked Demetria on Phaedra. So we were sitting there. We're sitting there. There was a whole little situation in the confessionals where Phaedra had gone into this thing of saying about Demetria and where she was actually going to be singing and this, that, and thing. Are you opening for Beyonce? I don't think so. Are you opening for Celine Dion? Well, I don't think so. And she's going through all this stuff. And I'm saying, but one of your best friends is Candy. Who the fuck is Candy opening for? Where the fuck is Candy performing, honey? At a gymnasium of an elementary school. Singing songs that don't nobody know. So, like, really? I mean, it ain't like you're hanging with the upper echelon of the motherfucking music business. You should have been happy to be here, too. I'm telling you, Phaedra, I didn't care for this shit with you. It wasn't no good look. You was just as nasty. Oh, you was nasty. You jealous or something. Something's wrong. Something is really wrong. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, girl. The mirror ain't telling you that you're the prettiest or something. And you're not handling it well. It's not looking good on you. Green's not your color, boo. Anyway, they come in there. When they get ready to get dressed to go up for dinner, Demetria looked really good. Now, I didn't like her hair at all. I didn't care for her hair, but that's a whole other horse of a different color. Phaedra goes in there. She reading again. Now she done offended the stylist and the glam squad. They talked about her motherfucking ass. Because she'll say, oh, you did good with that. And Dallas, cute little little stylist guy, girl, he was like, well, what do you mean, honey? You know, what the fuck is you giving? Child, when she walked out, he gave, child, bye. She's old and late and dry, honey. And he was right. He was right to read you. I don't know why you were nasty. She was just nasty for no reason. Absolutely nasty. And I'm sure a lot of it probably has to do with her situation, but you don't need to be pushing that off on other people. You need to go sit your ass down. If you're that miserable, you should have stayed the fuck home with your kids and your mama. Seriously. Anyway, after that girl like that, they go ahead and they have this dinner. The dinner didn't even get off to a good start, honey. And Demetria decided, okay, well, let me go ahead and say to Phaedra what I have to say. And she, wasn't real nasty. She just told her, she said, I don't understand. I said, let's just clear it up. It's like, there's something going on and your treatment hasn't been very good in the way you kind of been talking to me and you've been kind of reading me and things. And I really don't like it. And Phaedra just got real smart and defensive. It was coming, just nasty. Absolutely nasty. So, Demetria was like, wait a minute, hold on now, because you're not going to do that. So they going back and forth, and she's talking about, you're the one always talking about you want Roger Bob, this, that, thing, and the other, so she's going to read her down in front of the whole table. Baby, when I told you, Miss motherfucking Demetria gave Phaedra one line, and it was over for Phaedra for the night. That bitch, that young bitch, that 35-year-old bitch, looked at Phaedra. She looked you in your motherfucking eye, bitch. And she told you very nicely, listen, darling, the only thing you and I have in common is the number 8. Yours is going for 8, and mine has been around for 8. Boom! End of story. I said, you know what? Phaedra, she let you the fuck have it! She let you have it, bitch. And there was nothing else to say. And you sat there and your motherfucking mouth was quiet. Right along with the rest of the folks at the table, bitch. You were quiet the way that Kenya was quiet when you read her that day. Now, she fucking let you have it. And that was it. And right now, Phaedra, bitch, I'm putting you on punishment for 2 motherfucking episodes, bitch. You don't have nothing else to say. Because you didn't even have a comeback for that, bitch. So we want you to shut up for 2 episodes. Boom. Get on to the side, honey. Moving on. So at this point, because that was done, wasn't nothing else left to say. She tried to say a couple of things, but it didn't mean nothing. We don't even have to cover it, baby, because like I said, what I said, it was shut down. 8. The number 8. That's it. Done. 2 episodes, bitch. Quiet. Moving on. Next thing I know, they're going back and forth with this. Cynthia wants to get in. They're saying something. Nene's trying to overtalk Cynthia. The normal, but Cynthia ain't going for it. Nene's like, oh, I'm so glad to see Cynthia got a backbone. Yeah, bitch, she's tired of you. So finally, then Claudia comes to life. I don't know, somebody, her glass got empty, baby, and they took and turned up her motherfucking on button, and that bitch got loose. She told Nene, she says, you know what? She said, I just don't get it. I don't understand this, all this bitchiness and this cattiness and this, that, thing, that. Because the whole situation, basically, like I said, you could tell it had gotten on Claudia's nerves. So Claudia was saying what she had to say and said, they were saying, if it's not a problem, why don't Phaedra just go ahead on and apologize? She's swearing that she didn't do anything or she didn't mean anything bad. Then go on and apologize, Child, Phaedra, because Candy even asked Phaedra, girl, you being ashamed? And Phaedra had the nerve to sit at the table and say with the girl sitting there, I don't even know this girl, and I ain't think about this girl, and don't invite me nowhere else. Bitch, that ain't no comeback. The comeback is to get up and go on out of there. It was nice that she didn't throw you the fuck out of there, bitch, because you wasn't there on your dime. Like I said, shut the fuck up for 2 episodes, Phaedra. Anyway, moving on. Child, they got to going back and forth at the table, Claudia and Nene. I don't know what was worse, the shit that was said in the confessionals or the shit that was said at the table, baby. She called Nene the motherfucking puppet master. She told Nene, she said Nene had on a motherfucking George Washington wig, and I about pissed on myself. She told Nene at the table, Nene was saying something. She said, yeah, some shit about their age difference. And she said, well, no, Nene, you're not my age. And no, I'm not your age. But remember that when I was your age, baby, I had my edges. When you were my age, Nene, you had your edges, darling. It's been that long ago. Let her have it. Nene had ordered some drink, and Claudia had got the same thing, and Portia had gotten the same thing. Shit, Kenya done chimed in and gonna say what they got next. All matching blonde toupees, honey. They were letting Nene have it at that goddamn dinner. And it went on and on. And then when it got too ugly, then Nene got ugly, rude, and nasty, and went real raunchy and ghetto with it. You know, she couldn't get Claudia. She couldn't. Claudia was letting her have it. All about her stripping. She talked shit about Greg. She let her have, like, the bitch has been holding back for weeks. I said, well, welcome, motherfucking Claudia. Welcome, bitch. She turned around there and told, Nene was saying, girl, you want the money I have in the bank. You would love to have the money I have in the bank, this, that, and the other. And she's like, well, yeah, I mean, I make my money, Nene, and I pays my bills and all that. I do what I need to do. You know, Nene gonna give you, but money couldn't buy you a new pussy. I said, ooh. See, it done got too ugly. Now, Nene done went straight ugly with it because she was done. She couldn't get no comeback. Claudia wasn't that girl. Claudia let you have it too, Nene. Let you have it. And she went to try to say that Claudia has fucked everybody and all that. So we done cut on out, and then we cut out. And it's going to come back next week. They'll still be at the table. For the record, Claudia, Demetria, yeah. They had an episode, honey. It was their episode tonight. Demetria, I ain't got no problem with Demetria. She's just stupid for Roger Bob. So that happens. Some women are stupid for a man. It happens. She'll grow out of it. But Claudia, I didn't care for Claudia. I didn't have her to do something with her. Don't seem right with me still. But that bitch had her best episode so far. And then she was on Andy Cohen's, and the bitch looked good. And I'm going to give you that because I done let you have it. I done talked about your grandma and all that. So, bitch, when you do right, I'm going to do right by you, bitch. The bitch was done. She was clean on Andy Cohen's little show afterwards at 11 o'clock. The bitch was clean, real cute dress, and her motherfucking hair was done. Kudos to you, bitch. Her hair was done. It was one color, and thank God, honey. She looked really good on there. But, as she sat there after the first 10 minutes, she was back where she was. She's a boring bitch, and there's something about her I still don't like. But this was her episode, girl. And hats off to you, and I'll bow to you for the episode, Miss Claudia, because you motherfucking let Nene have it. And on that, you guys can thumbs up or thumbs down the video. I'm done. I done kikied and laughed and cackled and carried on. It was just too much. All right, guys, I'll catch y'all next week. Bye, guys.